think Brendan Rodgers, bar a couple of games, has really changed the mood at the King Power, and things are really moving forward. In fact, they're even one of the dark horses to finish in the top six this year, with the likes of Tottenham, Chelsea, Man United all have question marks over them, whereas maybe Leicester don't. But their start of the season's been cracking, to be honest. This season they've only lost once and won 5, and they've avoided defeat against Spurs and Chelsea, even beaten Spurs last weekend. So it is going to be a really hard game. Looking into the last 5 games, yesterday they beat Luton away from home in the Carabao Cup. It was very comfortable for them, but again they played a very strong side, just like they did in the last round against us when they beat 1 penalties. But I will touch on to that in a minute, because it is in the last 5 games. Very comfortable for them, but yeah, just easily done. And to be honest, I'll go out on a limb and say they're one of the dark horses to win the Carabao Cup as well. Last weekend just gone, they beat Spurs, and what a fantastic winner by James Maddison. Cuts in on his right foot and just drills it into the bottom corner from 25-30 yards. What a player they've got on their hands with him. 5 games ago for Leicester, they did play Newcastle at St James's Park in the Carabao Cup, and they did play a strong side, but Newcastle didn't. I think we played like some Matty Longstaff was second centre back in. So like with second, third, fourth choice centre backs in Kieran Clark and Fernandez. They played. Fringe players played. We played a decent game against them. I thought we nullified a lot of what they had, and we were very unlucky not to get something from the game. But we did go out on penalties, and it's just a look at the shootout, I suppose. The goalkeeper will obviously be Kasper Schmeichel, son of Peter Schmeichel. He's been a mainstay in Leicester's net for a long time now, and I don't see that changing for this weekend, if I'm honest. But in defence, I really rate the fullbacks. On the right, they've got Ricardo Pereira, and on the left, they've got Ben Chilwell. For me, these fullbacks are brilliant. Outside the top 6, I don't think there's better fullbacks on any team in the league. The midfield 3 is usually Ndidi, Tielemans and Maddison, but Maddison picked up a knock yesterday and is a doubt for the game on Sunday. They do have Dennis Praet, who is a solid option coming back in, or even then they have Hamza Chowdhury. But a side note, Hamza Chowdhury, you're a flipping arsehole for what you did to Matt Ritchie, then your arrogant smile in that afterwards. Despite that, that's still a very good midfield. Yuri Tielemans is one of the young prospects in Europe. Any Football Manager players from a couple of years ago know buying him from Anderlecht is an absolute steal, and he's just one for the future. And Leicester have got a real coup bringing him in mind. Even at 40 million, I think in a couple of years that'll be a snippet of what he'll be worth, because he is a fantastic midfielder, great at picking a pass out, great defending on both sides of the ball. He's excellent, very solid. So I cannot see any more. To nullify him, we're going to have to get players around him. We cannot afford to drop off like we did against Brighton and give these lads space, because they have talent to pick passes out from anywhere, regarding of markers and anything like that. They're more than capable. A very good midfield, and it's going to be very difficult for Newcastle to stop that come the weekend. It's going to take a lot of energy, a lot of effort, and that's why I probably play Hayden and Longstaff for the most energy possible to try and break up the play that they have. But the 3 forwards, it's a difficult one actually, because obviously there's Jose Perez, former Newcastle player, playing against Newcastle at the weekend, but he might not even play because their front 3 is fantastic. You've obviously got Damari Gray, you've got Harvey Barnes, Perez, Vardy, Iheanacho, former Man City player. There's quite a few players that could play. I think Vardy is the main choice up front. Obviously, he's scoring a couple of goals. And Brendan Rodgers says last week that he would take Vardy over Harry Kane. And I can see what he means, because Vardy's so dependable. He runs off the last man very well. He works his arse off for the team and gives everything. And he's a great character to have in and out the dressing room as well, kind of a leader type thing. And we've seen what he can do. He scored the winning penalty in the Carabao Cup, so we know what this lad can do. And even though Fabian Shaw has done really well against him in recent games, I'd say he's still a very dangerous player to play against. Other than that, you've got Harvey Barnes. The goal he scored the other week was absolutely brilliant. Brilliant volley to score. And then you've got Damari Gray or Jose Perez, both very important players for Leicester. But the one thing Newcastle had at the King Power, ironically, was Jose Perez scoring the winner in both of the last two games at the King Power for, so we're going to have to find something different, a different outlet, if you will, to try and get a goal past Leicester, because it's going to be difficult. It definitely is. And Leicester's squad back to front is very good, and honestly, as a Newcastle fan, looking envious at that Leicester squad, because Leicester have what I want as a Newcastle fan. They've got ambition, they've got really good players that the rest of the league are looking on as, and with envy and a bit of jealousy at times. And even though they sold Harry Maguire in the summer, the two centre backs, Soyuncu and Johnny Evans, are very solid together. So maybe Maguire made a mistake in leaving them, because I think Leicester may finish above Man United this year. What can we do to beat these? I think it's going to be really hard. I think our best hope is getting Maximin on the ball and making sure making sure he runs into the channels and causes him a few problems, opens a bit of space for Joelinton, because he needs some service to score goals. But it is going to be a hard game, and I do fear it's going to be 3 strikes and you're out for me and me record at the King Power of 2 wins and from 2 played. But yeah, there is no what you think of Leicester squad. I'll drop a question for you actually there for the comments. If you could pick one Leicester player to play for Newcastle United, who would it be? Personally, I think I would go with. I'd probably go with Jamie Vardy, because he's a goal scorer and I think we need one. So yeah, let us know who your player is in the comments. Let us know also what your predicted 11 would be for Newcastle this weekend, how we're going to nullify the Leicester lot, and how we're going to stop the type of form that they have. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, let us know with a like, comment and everything like that. And if you're not subscribed, do subscribe already. And yeah, I'll catch you in a bit, I suppose.